What's going on, guys? So let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart here. So we obviously know there's a ton of stuff going on in the crypto world. You know, God, I mean, there's so much to really talk about. But what I kind of want to talk about here is this BTC chart. What we're looking at here is the 1 hour time frame. So one thing that I do kind of want to point out, we did have this initial flush this morning, quickly on this wick test to 25,373. Um, and then we had a little bit of a bounce. One thing that I do kind of want to point out, just realistically, starting from today on the 1 hour time frame, we have a heavy resistance level here right around this $32,000. We did have this initial flush, and now we are on a back test here. But one thing that I do kind of want to point out is we are getting rejected at the 50-day moving average on the 1 hour time frame. So if we do want to see some sort of short-term relief for Bitcoin, it's got to get over 29,743. With that, it does have room all the way back up to 31,000. So those are the main levels that you need to be watching for the shorter term. Now, one thing that I do kind of want to point out here is being that we do have this resistance here and we did take this drop and now we are on this little bit of a relief bounce. If we can't get over this price action here and start building towards 31,000 and reclaim 31,000, the pressure is definitely still to the downside. If we can say this is a high here, this is a lower high here, a lower high here, this next drop is going to give another back test here to potentially set up a new lower high. So one thing that we do want to keep in mind is if this is our drop here, this is a little bit of a bear flag that's forming here. If we do start to break down below that 28,300 level, we could be seeing more selling pressure to come with that first initial stop being about 25. Now, one thing that I do kind of want to point out to you is that Bitcoin really doesn't have a lot of support below this 25. So if we kind of look at the 25 on the daily time frame, you can see we're underneath all levels of macro supply: the 100-day moving average, the 20-day moving average, the 200, the 10, the 5, the 50, so forth and so forth. So we kind of need to scroll out a little bit to the weekly time frame here to kind of get a really clear perspective as to where we're kind of heading, right? So if we look at the macro picture from the weekly time frame, we had this blow off top here in November, December's time where we were trading, in the 60s, that 60K, $63,000 mark. And then we've been on a downward trajectory since. So if we kind of look at this move that Bitcoin's been on, realistically since December here, big leg down. If we can just take 50% of this move and say that this is going to be a resistance line, yes, we did have a little bit of a dead cat bounce here back into 48,000. That was rejected. And then now we are getting this final washout here. So normally in a bear market, normally in a corrective state of market, there is generally three legs down. If we can just go back to December, if this is our first leg down, this is our second leg down, we would be expecting a bounce, maybe perhaps into that $30,000 to $35,000 range to create a new lower high, followed by the final drop, which more than likely is going to be sitting somewhere around that $20,000, $21,000 area. Right now, as it sits, the 200-day moving average on the weekly time frame is sitting at around 21,000. If Bitcoin does start to drop below the 25,000 bottom wick from today, 21,000, 22,000 would be the next stop. Now, from there, it gets very, very confusing and very, very dicey. We would have to look at the monthly time frame. You can see here this $21,000 is also going to correlate with the 50-day moving average on the monthly time frame. And if Bitcoin was to, and I'd hope that this doesn't happen, but you can just kind of see here going back to 2017, as well as a little bit of price action here in 2019, and then obviously the big breakout here in 2020 going into 2021. We do have this area of support that's down here at 21,000. If $21,000 is breached on Bitcoin, all hell will be to pay. This could drop back down into the 14, if not $10,000 range. Now, I'm not saying by any stretch of the means that that's going to happen, but if you are someone who's looking to get invested into Bitcoin, this is definitely not the place that I would looking to be trading or adding into a position on Bitcoin. Definitely on a monthly time frame here. So if we're looking from not so much of a trading point of view, but we're looking for the better deal for the longer term. Bitcoin really needs to reclaim 38, $41,000 to kind of continue back higher, or it needs to get down here into 21,000. Now, whether it loses 21,000 and then reclaims it, and that's when you want to buy it, or you want to buy it into the 21,000 and kind of sit through a little bit of consolidation here and then bounce off. I think $21,000 is going to be the next best available spot to kind of load up on Bitcoin. And just keep in mind, if things do get a little bit more crazy here in the crypto world and Bitcoin loses 21,000, you are going to have serious margin calls from some of the biggest holders in Bitcoin. And this can actually sink Bitcoin to lows that we have not seen, in a very, very long time. I hope this video kind of makes sense. If you guys like the technical analysis, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to do more technical analysis on crypto and other different coins in the near coming future. Also, I do have a Discord. Join that Discord down in the description box below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.